Close your eyes. Imagine you are walking down a street. You see a vast amount of local street artists and performers. You hear the upbeat tempo of a jazz band playing in the distance. You smell the warm, inviting aroma of freshly fried beignets. Welcome to New Orleans, a city overflowing with rich history and traditions. I have recently completed research in order to gain a deeper insight on the aspects that have influenced New Orleans history. New Orleans history are influenced by its cuisine, jazz, voodoo, and Mardi Gras. According to Susan Tucker's book, New Orleans Cuisine, 14 Dishes and Their Histories, New Orleans cuisine was influenced by many cultures. The African people contributed their expertise in growing okra and rice. The Indian tribes, such as Choctaw, Chickasaw, Chickamaugas, Natchez, and many other tribes, taught the settlers how to dry fruit and make filet, which is a powder that is used to thicken soup. They also taught the settlers how to make hominy and grits. The French settlers contributed their knowledge in roux, sauces, and stock, which are the basis of many popular New Orleans dishes, such as gumbo, etouffee, and jambalaya. The Spanish settlers contributed dishes that were made with rice and a variety of spices. Their favorite way to cook these dishes were by slowly simmering them in a pot. Sicilian settlers popularized the use of tomato-based gravies in the dishes. After the Mexican War, the capsicum pepper in the form of hot sauce became a staple in everyday New Orleans settlers' cooking. Hot sauce makers contribute this discovery to a returning New Orleans soldier. We commonly know New Orleans cuisine as Creole cooking. Creole in Latin means to create, so when you think about it, Creole is the perfect word to describe what the settlers created as their cuisine. When thinking of aspects of New Orleans, one cannot overlook the jazz. According to Thomas E. Jacobson's ebook, Traditional New Orleans, Jazz Conversations with the Men Who Make the Music, New Orleans is the birthplace of jazz. In 1917, we have recordings of the first jazz music ever. They were recorded by the original Dixieland Jazz Band. The 1920s was the time period that jazz music reached its peak. It was so popular during this time period that author F. Scott Fitzgerald named it the Jazz Age. Jazz bands have a variety of instruments. They include trumpets, clarinets, trombones, pianos, a brass or string bass, drums, and sometimes even a banjo or guitar. Jazz band's popularity in New Orleans has even led them to lead funeral processions and second lines, which are parades where people walk and twirl parasols or handkerchiefs. There's an uneasiness in New Orleans. This uneasiness stems from the voodoo religion that is still practiced today in the Big Easy. According to Ina Johanna Fandrickson's ebook, The Mysterious Voodoo Queen, Marie Laveau, a study of powerful female leadership in the 19th century New Orleans, most voodoo leaders were free women of color. The most famous voodoo priestess being Marie Laveau. Most people believe that New Orleans voodoo originated from Haitian immigrants that came to Louisiana after the Haitian War of Independence. However, New Orleans voodoo stems from West and Central African, European, and Native American elements. In 1803, New Orleans voodoo origins became hard to trace. They especially became hard to trace in 1808 when America abolished slavery. Traditionally, Mardi Gras has been a Catholic festivity in which is a day of feasting before the weeks-long fast known as Lent. However, according to Olivia B. Waxman's article on Time.com, the history behind 5 of New Orleans' favorite Mardi Gras traditions, modern-day Mardi Gras has become a day of feasting for people of all races, faith, and ethnicities to come together, eat amazing food, and catch wonderful finds. The Rex organization started the tradition of naming Carnival King. They also gave Mardi Gras its traditional colors of purple, green, and gold. These colors represent justice, power, and faith. It is also believed that a 19th century carnival king started the traditions of throwing beads and other treasures. The tradition of dressing up on Mardi Gras has always been prevalent. However, revelers who were banned from the festivities started making this tradition more and more prominent since they wanted to join the festivities. Perhaps someone's favorite aspect of Mardi Gras is king cake. Everyone loves to eat. This tradition stems from the French settlers. A king cake contains a baby Jesus figurine, which is a symbol for the day of Epiphany, which is the day that the wise men brought baby Jesus gifts. I have provided you with information as to why these aspects of New Orleans have influenced its history. You now have a better understanding of what has made New Orleans, New Orleans.